Okay, all right. I'm gonna be on this. That's why I'm not talking too much. Okay, all right. So waiting for my people to come on here. Yeah, guys, today we're gonna be talking about Wendy Williams. The topic of Wendy Williams and her conservatorship or our guardianship. We're gonna be talking about Wendy Williams. There's a movement going on to free Wendy Williams of her conservatorship and her guardianship. Guardianship is a legal arrangement where a court appoints a person or entity to make decisions for someone who is unable to do so for themselves. And some states call it guardianship and some states call it conservatorship, depending on what states you're living in. So I'll just wait for a few of my people to come on so we can talk about Wendy Williams and her guardianship. 'Cause that's where she's in New York, and I think that's in New York. They call it guardianship in New York. So we're going to be talking about Wendy Williams today. There's a movement going around to free Wendy Williams because apparently Wendy Williams is like, she's in a prison-like facility in New York, some kind of a nursing home that way she cannot leave. She's in a locked facility where she can't get phone calls. Apparently, she can make phone calls, but you cannot call Wendy Williams because she's being monitored under the guardianship. So, and I told you what a guardianship is like. Who can be a guardian? Okay, let's see who can be a guardian, okay? Who can be a guardian? It says a family member, a friend, a professional such as a lawyer, an association, or corporation in limited circumstances. I feel if Wendy Williams is in our guardianship, right? I feel that that lady that was appointed by the court to be our guardian, I feel that our family members should be our guardianship, okay? Because Wendy Williams is now on all of the talk show medias them. She's over on the Breakfast Club, TMZ. She's over on all of this. She's on Instagram. She's everywhere. She's fighting now to be free because apparently her guardianship, which is some lady. I'm gonna have to Google to find out who is her guardian, who is Wendy Williams guardians. Like I said, a guardianship is a legal arrangement where a court appoints a person or entity to make decision for someone who is unable to do so for themselves. Apparently, Wendy Williams got into a situation where she couldn't appoint or do anything for herself. Stop yapping, cop. Listen, if you have a problem with this, please to get off of this live stream right now. Andrew Grave, we don't need you in this Chat, Andrew Grave. Andrew Grave. Andrew Graves, go back to the grave, Andrew Graves. We don't need you here, okay? You are a negative person, and we do not need any negative person on this live stream. So you can just leave right away. It's nothing but positivity here on this live stream today. We're talking about Wendy Williams. Guys, you remember Wendy Williams? The famous talk show host, Wendy Williams. She had a show that I think every morning she used to come on at probably around 10 o'clock. And her show was to talk about people and to do hot topics. And now she's locked away, her guardianship apparently locked away in a facility in New York. And she had gotten to the point where she was not able to care for herself as according to the courts. When she had divorced from her husband, it was a lot was going on with Wendy Williams at the time. They're saying that she was on heavy drugs allegedly. I didn't say it. Allegedly, she was on drugs allegedly, and apparently she was going through a lot, dealing with a lot from the divorce because her husband apparently had gone out and got this some girl by the name of Selena pregnant and was using all of Wendy's money allegedly, okay? It is a fact that she has been divorced from her husband, Kevin Hunter. Kevin Hunter has his mistress out there. It's not a secret. It's out. It's out. Kevin Hunter has his sweetheart or his mistress or whoever. She is out there and had fostered another child out of the marriage. Wendy could not take it anymore. She got divorced and all that stuff that was going on with her. You know, when a woman divorce or going through a divorce, oh, it can be very hard on her. A divorce is like a death. You're divorcing from your husband. You're divorcing from that person. So it's very, very difficult. So now let's listen to what Harvey Weinstein is saying about Wendy Williams. She has no laptop. She is a prisoner Yes. in this assisted living facility. And when you listen to her, I'm telling you, there is nothing. 29. I know this Guardian says that she is permanently incapacitated. I didn't hear any incapacitation.
Right, and you could say somebody had a good moment, perhaps, but you say, Harvey, early
Hours.
morning, late,
Hours.
different days.
Yes.
Doesn't
Hours.
make any sense.
And by the way, Charlemagne has spoken to her over the last couple of weeks here and there. Rosanna Scotto has spoken with her. She's the anchor in New York. Nothing. Nobody said, nobody has said, oh my God, yeah, she kind of like lapsed and
Right.
didn't know. Nobody.
No, I listened to the Charlemagne conversation. She seemed incredibly lucid, perfectly fine.
Well, this took, I'm talking hours and hours of conversation.
Wow.
And she is with it. She is with it. And to have a guardianship where somebody's, and this is an odd guardianship because it started just because somebody was taking advantage of her financially.
Right.
And this is when she was going through some real substance abuse issues. She's clean now.
Right.
But when she was going through those issues, there were issues where somebody was taking advantage of her finance. Okay, guys, so you hear for yourselves, guys, that Wendy Williams is not, she does not have delusion. She's not delusional or she doesn't have dementia like what her guardianship is saying. Harvey Weinstein, he said that he spoke to Wendy Williams for 6 hours on different days, and Wendy Williams is not losing her mind. She does not have dementia. I guess she got into the situation where a court ordered a guardianship for her because at that time, allegedly, she was going through alcoholism, she was drinking, she was going through a divorce and all that kind of stuff. So that's why she was taken advantage of. And what RV is saying right now, where Wendy Williams live in New York, it's a lock elevator. Nobody cannot go in there. She cannot leave the room, guys. She cannot go downstairs to get sunshine. She cannot go outside, okay, unless she's taken out by her guardianship, okay? She cannot, all they do every day is lock her in this room. And if you've been to a nursing home before, you know what it's like to live inside of a nursing home. A nursing home is a small room with a bathroom in there. And then they have to bring your meals. They knock on the door when it's time to give you your medication. Somebody is sent to give you a bath. You know, your whole life is not, you're not free. When you're in a nursing home, you're not free. Everything is done for you, whether you like it or not. Okay? You cannot resist. The only thing you probably can refuse is the medication, because if you don't want a medication, they can't hold your throat and force it down inside of you unless you are unconscious or something to that fact, or unless they're treating you for some major disease or something, or unless you've got an IV implanted inside of you, but they cannot force you to take no pills if you do not want to take any pills. Anyways, guys, please, I would like for you to subscribe, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. We're talking about Wendy Williams today, okay? And there's a movement going around to free Wendy Williams. And when I listen to the Breakfast Club, and when I listen to Jason, the guy or one of our best friend, and I listened to Don Lemon's show about Wendy Williams, I felt really bad. I felt really like crying for Wendy Williams. I didn't know that Wendy Williams was going through all this. A vibrant talk show host, that she got into a situation where she was just, maybe she couldn't handle it because of the divorce. Maybe because of what she was going through at the time. She turned to alcohol, or she turned to whatever, whatever she was doing at the time that made her incompetent of taking care of herself. Somebody or some lawyer or some whoever it is went to a court and got her and a ruler incapable of taking care of herself, and the court offer or provide a guardianship over Wendy Williams. Now she's tucked away in a nursing home. She cannot leave, and the guardian is saying that she has dementia. And when Wendy speaks, there's nothing about dementia that Wendy Williams has. Nothing about dementia. If you go back and watch all of those videos with Don Lemon, when Don Lemon had interviewed her last week with her niece, Alex, nothing about dementia. This woman do not have dementia at all. When she was on the Breakfast Club, over the phone, not in person. She was not in none of these places in person. It's via telephone they were interviewing her. And Wendy did not sound like she was incapable at all. She spoke properly. She spoke fluently. No kind of hiccups that this lady has dementia, or this lady has any kind of mental illness. But sometimes when you have a lot of money out there, people really can take advantage of you. They can take advantage of you the worst way. Hi, how you guys doing? Hello. Yes, I see you are here, but I don't know what this word means. Holy yaparoni. I don't know what this is. Holy yaparoni. Explain what that means to us, because we don't know what you're talking about here. And then there's another person, Andrew Graves, stop yapping, come, 'cause I don't know what these people are talking about. Most of these people seems like they cannot speak English. And I don't want no negativity on this live stream today, because if you guys come with negativity here, I will block you from here and put you in timeout. We're talking about Wendy Williams, and there's a movement to free Wendy Williams, and I would love for Wendy Williams to be freed. So I don't want any negativity coming here on my live stream. I don't do negative live streams, okay? No negativity here. Only positive vibes only. We're talking about Wendy Williams here. And I would like to see Wendy Williams free of her guardianship, okay? And I will explain what guardianship is for those who don't know what a guardianship is. A guardianship is a legal arrangement where a court appoints a person or entity to make decision for someone who is unable to do so for themselves, okay? And a guardian can be a family member, it can be a friend, a professional person such as a lawyer, or an association or corporation in limited circumstances. That's what we're talking about Wendy Williams today on her guardianship. Okay, let's look at another name of how we call guardianship. It's called conservatorship. Conservatorship. Let's conservatorship. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to look up this definition here. Conservatorship. The meaning of conservatorship. Anyways, guys, our conservatorship is court-ordered arrangement that gives a person the right to make decisions for another person. So a conservatorship is the same as a guardianship, depending on what state you're living in. I know I think Britney Spears had a conservatorship, which was her father, and in California they call it conservatorship. Wendy Williams has a guardianship because she's in New York. So in New York they call it a guardianship. The person who makes the decision is called the conservator, and the person who received the decision is called a conservatee. So that's what is going on with Wendy Williams, guys. And how it works again is a relative, a friend, a nursing home administrator can petition the probate court to appoint a conservator. The court will also appoint a conservator if less restrictive options are not available. The conservator is responsible for the conservatee's financial, personal, and health affairs. The court supervises and controls the conservator's decision. So it's actually the same thing. It just in certain states it's called conservatorship, and in other states it's called a guardianship. But it's practically the same stuff. So Wendy Williams is dealing with guardianship because she's in New York. Britney Spears was in California at the time, so that's what hers was called, a conservatorship. So that's what there's a movement going on, guys. And we also heard that Wendy Williams and her family, which is her friend Alex, or her niece Alex is the one that's helping her right now. They have a GoFundMe account putting up because whoever is the conservatorship is controlling all of her finances and her millions of dollars. She does not have access to her millions of dollars from her talk shows that she been doing and from the job that she been doing. Wendy Williams says she's been working for how many years, ever since she was 17 or something like that. Now she's 60 years old, okay? So this woman has a lot of money, millions of dollars that she does not have access to because someone is some lady, I forgot her name. I'm gonna have to Google that also to bring it here. Is her guardianship in New York, and right now Wendy Williams is worried about getting out of there. She's worried about how they've been locking her up for the past 3 years. She's been locked up in a nursing home, and she only has $15 in her purse. She cannot leave the facility. If she goes out and go to the front desk, she and ask if she can go downstairs, they call her guardianship right away. She cannot go anywhere. The elevators are locked. The facility is locked. She cannot leave her room unless her guardianship has approved. And I guess the guardianship person has to be there. The guardianship person takes the phone calls. Whoever she wants to let through to Wendy, that's who she's gonna let talk to Wendy. If she don't want you talking to Wendy, you cannot speak to Wendy. So I know it's a big gatekeeping going on. She doesn't have access to her money, guys. And I wish to God that Wendy could be free away from this guardianship. I know what it is like. This woman is actually in a prison. She is actually in a prison, guys. Let's pray for Wendy. Let's listen to some more of this.
Financially. Somehow that morphed into a guardianship over her entire life. And not just a guardianship, because remember, with Britney Spears, she was still able to communicate with the outside world.
Right.
She was on
Oh,
Instagram,
yeah.
going out
Right.
with her then husband.
This seems far more strict.
It's worse than when you look at what somebody in prison who commits a violent crime, they at least get out an hour a day.
Right.
She doesn't get
So
any of that.
how could this possibly have happened then, Harvey? How do you take away a free adult's will to operate their own life? I mean, how?
It started with the documentary, this Lifetime documentary, where she was just off the rails.
Guys, so you see what I'm talking about here, guys. We're talking about Wendy Williams, guys. How she is being abused. Guys, she's like she's in a prison. This guardianship is so terrible. Everything is controlled. Our whole money. She's not free to do anything. Just like Harvey Weinstein was saying from TMZ right there. When they send people to prison, at least people go out. They give them at least an hour out in the yard in prison. Wendy Williams is not allowed to go nowhere. She's not allowed to get no sunshine. She's not allowed to go outside. She's trapped in a room, a small room. Oh man, I would not wish this on none of my enemies, guys. Guys, put it down in the chat and tell us how you feel about Wendy Williams in this guardianship position. Comment, guys, comment. How would you feel if one of your family members would be locked up like this? How would you feel? This is really not right at all. I hope to God they can free Wendy Williams from this. And she's going, a lot of people are coming to her aid right now. A lot of people are speaking out on her behalf. A lot of people are speaking against this guardianship. Guys, remember Britney Spears? Her picture was just on TV too because Harvey was talking about Britney Spears too. She was in the same situation and she finally got freed from her guardianship. Now she's finally free to spend her money and to do whatever she wants to do with her money. And somebody has a hold on Wendy Williams. Somebody has a hold on Wendy Williams, all of Wendy Williams' dollars. Somebody's controlling Wendy Williams' money. Somebody does not want Wendy Williams to spend her money. Guys, listen to this again.
And there were substance abuse situations.
Look at Wendy Williams.
And there is a theory that the Guardians let her do this and were never even around when it was being filmed to protect her.
Right.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe, and I'm giving a theory, this is a complete overreaction to the Guardians not doing what they should have when that was done.
Right.
I could easily see that for sure being the case because the way Wendy was portrayed in that documentary was terrible. People were just really wondering, how did anyone allow her?
Guys, look at this lady, Wendy Williams, guys. Isn't this a shame? That how would you feel if this were to happen to your mother? How would you feel if this were to happen to your sister, your daughter, your brother, anybody? And when I hear about conservatorship and guardianship, it always seems to be the women. I've never heard, if you guys heard of any male guardian or anybody's under a conservatorship as a man, can you put it down in the chat? So far, it's only two cases I've heard of now, Wendy Williams and Britney Spears. It so happened that Britney Spears managed to come out of her conservatorship in California at the time. Now Wendy Williams is fighting for her life to come out of this guardianship. What a damn shame. Wendy Williams also has a son. I think they call him Kevin Jr. And her son is so worried about her. Oh my God, I would never like my mom or any one of my family to be in a situation like this where she does not have her own free will. Somebody's holding on to her. Somebody's controlling her personal life, her business life, her money, her health, even her health. People are just giving her pills, giving her whatever they want to give her, controlling her because of her money. She don't have access to her millions of dollars that she worked over all these years. Wendy Williams was working. Wendy Williams was one of the hottest talk show hosts on television right before COVID. I think Sherry Shepherd is now taking that spot over with her talk show. But I remember I used to watch Wendy Williams. Every morning I used to watch Wendy Williams. And I used to watch Hot Topics and all that stuff. And look at this lady right now. Look at her right now. She cannot move when she wants to move. She cannot make any decision of her own. She cannot do anything. Oh my God, can she go to the bathroom on her own? Can she? I don't know that. If she actually can go to the bathroom without anyone being there? Can she take a bath on her own? This is really, really and truly terrible. This is terrible. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Like Harvey Weinstein says, when people go to prison, they at least get to go outside in the sun. They at least get to get fresh air outside. They at least let to go, they play basketball or whatever, at least an hour for the day. Wendy does not have access to going outside. She can just only walk from her bed to her window in her room and look out her side of her window. She cannot leave that room. If she opens that door, somebody at the front desk will be triggered right away if she comes outside of that room. She cannot go downstairs. Those are locked elevator doors. Those are locked doors. She's in a prison, guys. She's in a prison. I say hashtag free Wendy Williams. Free Wendy Williams. Free Wendy Williams. Nobody deserves to be locked up like caged birds. Nobody deserves to be locked up like this. Nobody deserves this. Nobody. This could be a family member of mine. Nobody deserves this, guys. Nobody deserves this. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, and comment and share, guys. Let's talk about Wendy Williams some more, guys. And let's continue to listen to TMZ.
To be filmed in that state. And so when we saw her like that, very scary, very jarring, and someone needed to be held responsible because if you're her guardian, why would you allow her to do this? So I could easily see that being the case. And then you know what? I really feel bad for her family who has to sit back and watch Wendy pretty much just deteriorate in that room. Like you said, she has a niece who's looking out for her. She has a son that wants to look out for her, and they just simply can't get to her. And that has to be so.
There she is, guys. Wendy Williams. That's the big deal. TMZ. TMZ talking about Wendy Williams. Everybody would like to see Wendy Williams free from that guardianship. You know, this is really a mess. Really, really a mess. I don't know why would her family let her get to that extent where the court had to rule for her to have a guardianship. Family members was not paying attention to her at the time when she needed them. But now all of a sudden they're coming out now because they probably realize the seriousness of what she's going through in that nursing home in New York. So, oh my God, I'm praying for Wendy Williams. I'm praying for Wendy Williams to be free. Dear God, that could have been one of my family member. Please free Wendy Williams. I would just love Wendy Williams to be freed. Nobody deserves to be locked up in a guardianship or a conservatorship. Nobody deserves that. And half of the time when it's like that, it's always about money. When a person is really wealthy and has a lot of money, millions of dollars, it's just like people take advantage of them. It's like they don't have any true people around them. No, at that time when Wendy Williams was doing her talk show, her husband could even protect her. The same husband that she was depending on to take care of her. This is the same man that was out with his mistress, getting his mistress pregnant and using allegedly losing Wendy Williams' money to furnish his lifestyle with this sweet woman or sweetheart woman that he had. It's such a shame. There's a lot of women are in situations like this. And people, please wake up and look after your loved ones, especially the people and with money. I feel like they've been prosecuted more than anything else because when people have a lot of money, it's like they have so many haters. And sometimes even the family members becomes haters too, because the family members want their money and they can't get their money, so they start to hate. They start to say all kinds of bad things about their loved ones and start to turn against them. So these are some of the stuff them like that what happened to people when they have riches and money like this. People just take advantage of people with money. People who are really rich don't have any true friends. You can't trust anyone when you have money because people are not coming to you for the right reasons. They're coming to you to get your money. And if you can't give them your money, they want to hurt you badly. They don't want to see you around with all of that money. They don't care about you. They don't like you. If you were to ever win the lottery, I would advise you don't tell anyone. Because once people know that you have a little bit of money, you can end up in situations like Wendy Williams. If they don't hurt you or they don't unalive you, they put you in situations and where you're just deemed incapable. This is what people do to people when they have fortunes. They don't like people who are rich. I'm sure you do have some people that genuinely care, without a doubt. You be around the right people. Some of them people really genuinely and truly care. But you got some of these people that really don't care about you when you're on top like this, when you're rich, when you have a lot of money, you have a lot of finances, when you can, you see when you're rich like this, it's like to be honest with you, people are saying that when you're rich, you're free. Nah, that's not true. When you're rich, you're not free. When you're rich, you have to be watching your back like crazy because people are coming behind you out of the woodwork. People are coming at you from all different directions. And they're not coming at you good either. They're coming at you the worst way. So yes, guys, today we're talking about Wendy Williams. Is a movement to free Wendy Williams. Free Wendy Williams. Free Wendy Williams. Nobody deserves to be in prison. Nobody deserves to be in... Guys, if you're just joining me and you do not know what we're talking about Wendy Williams, the famous talk show host, who is in prison in a nursing home under a guardianship. And some place calls it, like in New York where she's, is called a guardianship. And in California, it's called a conservatorship. So in California now, where it's called a conservatorship is a court-ordered arrangement that gives a person the right to make decisions for another person. Okay? The person who makes the decisions is called a conservator. The person who receives the decision is called a conservatee. Okay, so in California, it is called a conservatorship, and in New York, it is called a guardianship. Okay, so, and I just read what a conservatorship is and what the meaning of a conservatorship is. So let's go back now and let's do guardianship. So to show you, it's the same thing. Okay? Let's see if we can see what's the difference between a conservatorship and a guardianship. What is the difference? Let's see. Conservatorship versus a guardianship. Although both guardianships and conservatorships involve one person having legal control over the decision of another, there are notable differences between the two. Okay, a guardianship on one end. Let's look at guardianship first. Guardianship control over day-to-day decisions. Conservatorship control over financial decision. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Guardianship of a ward who is a minor younger than 18. Conservatorship of an incapacitated adult. Okay, so there's slightly difference. Okay, not much. Guardianship until they come of age, or guardianship. And a conservatorship until the conservatorship is lifted. Okay, anyways, guys, basically both of them are the same thing. If somebody's having control over your whole entire life, your financial, your personal, your health, everything. Conservatorship and guardianship is the same thing depending on where you're at. In New York, it's called a guardianship, and over in the West, it's called a conservatorship. Anyways, guys, so we're talking about Wendy Williams. There's a movement to free Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams is locked away in a nursing home like a prison. And this lady here that's on my screen
So sad.
is
I gotta
Wendy
tell you,
Williams.
I thought of this yesterday.
So
If I
Harvey
were in her
Weinstein from
situation,
TNZ is talking
being
about it.
locked in a room for 3 years, essentially,
Yes.
I don't know that I would be a functioning human being.
Right. Seems like she's doing great, all things considered.
Yes.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how well she's doing.
Right.
Given what she is being treated like a prisoner.
Right. It sounds like she's in solitary confinement, and you've seen what that does to
She is, and I just to hear her mental state, to hear that she can be even happy, still knowing the circumstances of being angry about it,
Right.
it is stunning to me.
I'm Sheldon Rumor from Southern New Jersey, and listen, through all of this, I don't hear anything about a plan, professionals, an actual way to get her out of this situation, regardless of how she got it.
Okay,
She
guys.
knows when she covers her hands what people are going to say.
Right.
This can't be, oh my God, people are saying that. She knows. So even public about it.
Right. 2025, they're getting engaged. I would be shocked if it doesn't happen.
I agree. Okay.
Anyways, guys, that was what they were talking about. They were talking about Wendy Williams, and seems as if Wendy Williams is in a prison. They're treating her like a prisoner. So she's inside of this nursing home where she cannot leave the nursing home without her guardianship approval, or she cannot go. She's been locked away for the past 3 years. And there is a GoFundMe out there for Wendy Williams. So if you guys want to go find Wendy Williams GoFundMe and contribute to her so they can find lawyers or whatever for her so they can try to free her, you guys can go ahead and do that. Anyways, guys, please like and subscribe this live stream. We're talking about Wendy Williams and her guardianship and how she's been locked away for the past 3 years with only $15 in her purse. Nobody cannot call her. She can call people, but nobody cannot call her. She's not been outside for the past. Well, she's been outside, but she's been locked away for 3 years now. She been locked away in the nursing home for, and she does not have access to run around free or to make decisions on her own freely. So yes, guys, so that's Wendy Williams. So if you guys want to go and support the movements to free Wendy Williams, I would like to see Wendy Williams be free from the guardianship. That would be nice because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with this lady here. Nothing at all wrong with Wendy
Yesterday,
Williams.
if I were in her situation,
Okay, let's see what Harvey Weinstein's saying if he was in her situation.
Get to her, and that has to be so sad.
I got to tell you, I thought of this yesterday. If I were in her situation, being locked in a room for 3 years, essentially, I don't know that I would be a functioning human being.
Right. Seems like she's doing great, all things considered.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how well she's doing.
Right.
Given what she is being treated like a prisoner.
Right. It sounds like she's in solitary confinement, and you've seen what that does to people.
She is, and I just to hear her mental state, to hear that she can be even happy, still knowing the circumstances and being angry about it. Right. It is.
Guys, anyways, guys, I notice you guys are not chatting too much about this Wendy Williams situation here. Put it down in the comment section, in the chat section, to see if you guys are experiencing anything like this. You guys know of anyone in a conservatorship? You know, what would you do about it if that was your family member? You know, put it down in the chat, guys. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be ending this live stream right now. I've been on here for 42 minutes already. So if you guys want, you guys can go back and watch the live stream. You guys can comment about Wendy Williams, or I don't know, are you guys going to support the GoFundMe, you know, and would you like to see Wendy Williams a free person again? I would like to see Wendy Williams a free person again. I honestly would like to see her get free so she can, you know, go back to her family and, you know, continue with her life. I wouldn't want to wish this on nobody. Nobody deserves to be locked up like a prisoner, guys. So anyways, guys, I will see you another day. Like, subscribe, comment, share, guys, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.